how they do it, because a lot of people don't understand. I don't want to say don't understand the world of media, but the effort and passion,
the amount of stuff, the amount that goes into it.
I like pretty girls. I don't go below Chris Sevens.
Hello people, and welcome back to The Real Talk Show. I'm glad to have everyone here. Thank you for joining me again, and we're back with another guest. This is a special one to me, my best friend, my brother, Charlie. Hello Charlie, how are you? I am very, very good. Excited to have you here.
Thank you.
I'm
excited to be here.
I was very happy to have you on, especially because we've had a lot of discussions already about like what we want to do after uni, what we're going to do, you know, creative-wise, the jobs that we want to do. So I want to let you, same with my sister, obviously we've already spoken a lot, so I'm going to let you speak to the people, just like my sister did, about yourself and what you do creatively.
So my name is Charlie Simpson. I'm 20 years old. I do media production, but I'm slowly starting to focus more on social media work. Just something I prefer. It's a lot broader of a industry to get into.
Just get a compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a lot broader of a region to get into. Coming to university. I'm a uni student, third year.
Yeah.
Coming to university, when I was still picking my options, I was very pigeonholed. I wanted to do editing. I wanted to work on films. I wanted to, just do editing. And as I thought about it on a wider scale, my sister did theatrical makeup at university, but she didn't want to pigeonhole herself to just TV and film.
Yeah.
She wanted to do like a range of makeup, so she did a broader course.
Yeah, fair.
So that's why I thought then if I did media production, I wouldn't have to pigeonhole myself just to one set area.
Yeah.
I could then have skills that could go across different areas. So I ended up obviously coming here for media production, and then I changed my view almost instantly to something else, and then it was radio, and then I thought actually I just really enjoy social media work because I do it as part of my society. So
yeah, what was it that like kind of made that change? Like, was it anything that you did or?
Yeah, I mean I think it's part of the flexibility that comes with it. Obviously my worst nightmare is having an office job where I sit at a computer.
So
I couldn't do it. But I like how in social media you can do almost everything. You can do graphic work, you can make graphics for different things, you can film, you can take photographs, you can do a lot of different things, and it's basically just showcasing what you do, which I like to show off a bit. So
so you do, to be fair. No, to be fair, I think I feel like editing and like social media stuff is, obviously you can tell me about this, like it's quite easy to create stuff beforehand. Yeah. And like kind of set yourself up for it. I know you have like a whole like portfolio of stuff that you create, and even for your graduation project now you're doing stuff on that, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, I've got my portfolio account on Instagram, which is basically just me posting whatever work I do. Well, some of the work I do I've been lacking at the moment, but with like other stuff, you could literally just pick up a camera, start filming anything. It could be, I don't know, like social media nowadays, you can film a TikTok video of your cat jumping off the shelf cabinet, and it would,
and then go viral.
1 million views, 2 million views. But at the same time, you could film an absolute masterpiece with hundreds of hours into editing, and then you post it on social media in clips, and then it just doesn't get the same traction as what you thought it would. I guaranteed if you wanted to do the influencer stuff or that sort of area, a lot of it does come down to luck. I was listening to a guy called Queso, he's a streamer. He was talking about it, and he was like, a lot of it, even where I got to today, it was all because of luck. And I'm not saying that don't do it. Obviously do it. It's one of the greatest things ever. But where I'd more focus on would be like making posts or making stuff for people. So whether it be like for a company or whatever,
And to be fair, you jumped a gun a little bit because when I got in, you'd already stuck your little
My logo.
picture there.
Fun story about that.
Yeah.
I was in my first year or second year, and we had like one lecture on identity, and I was like, well, I haven't really got anything. I've not got like a social media page. I didn't have a LinkedIn, and I was just loading up Adobe Express for like one day. It said logo builder. I was like, I'm not gonna do that. So I sat there for like a good few minutes trying to make a logo, and nothing really sat right. So I was like, you know what? I'll just try the template thing, and something like that showed up, and I was like, I've spent about half an hour to an hour trying to make a logo, and the template is just basically done it for me.
made that. Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? CS Media, rolls off the tongue, colours look cool.
I like it because it's quite simple.
Yeah, it's nothing major.
Yeah, nothing
Like
too
this.
big.
You can see that. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I like it. You've spoken about social media and stuff like that. Is there anything that you've done beforehand? Any like jobs? Anything?
Yes, yeah, I talk about it all the time.
You do, yeah.
I don't think there's anybody that doesn't know about it.
Yeah.
But I used to work for Cinch car company.
How was that?
Really fun.
Yeah.
Best experience of my life. It was 3 months, not even 3 months. It was from like up until September, so back 3 months, whatever, like July, I think. I managed to get work experience there for 3 months, filming, editing, whatever it was. I went to the British Motor Show, filmed a load of cars. That was sick. I wasn't really into cars beforehand. And then I got to the show and I was like, this is actually cool. There's like cars driving around everywhere. There's like a really nice one. And they had like a section for like weird looking cars. So it was like a banana car. It was like a Batman themed Lamborghini.
Yeah.
And it was over summer as well, so it was really hot. And I remember I was working out in my dad's pod. He calls it the pod. It's just an office.
First.
I was working out in that over summer, and it got really hot. And I had a meeting. I was in my meeting, and then my mum came in to drop off like I think it was like coffee or something.
Yeah.
And then obviously one of the people that in the meeting knew my mum, and they just started having a conversation. I was like, okay, so I don't have to do any work today.
Yeah.
You know, it was really fun, and it was definitely a massive opportunity. And if I had the chance, I'd go back in a heartbeat.
Yeah. 100%. Well, Cinch, if you're listening.
Cinch, if you're watching.
Charlie wants to come back.
Ben, anyone?
Yeah.
Guys, bring me back. After I'm traveling.
Oh yeah, where you going?
November the 11th, I go off traveling.
Oh, nice.
Thailand, Vietnam, Australia.
Make sure to carry a camera.
I'm going to film it and I'm going to post it.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, we've spoken a lot of the show about taking the opportunity to, travel when you do just like fun stuff in general, just like whipping out a camera because it is just so vital now.
Just do anything.
In this day.
Anything that you might find interesting, take a photo.
Whip a camera, take a photo.
Get the camera out. 100%.
And share it. Don't procrastinate. If you want to share it with the people because I guarantee there's going to be someone out there who is interested in watching it.
And then you've obviously got the people that are, there's trolls online. Just ignore them.
Yeah.
If they're going to come giving you hate, then just ignore them.
Yeah. So, obviously we have spoken a little bit about, obviously you're uni now with me, obviously. What got you interested in the first place?
My story for how I got interested in media is one of my favourite stories to tell.
Okay.
So it was at school, obviously, like yourself, and it was about GCSE time. I was about to pick my options, and I knew I wanted to do history. That was through and through. That was a given. I then wanted to do outdoor education because at the time I wanted to do something in PE or like something outdoorsy.
Yeah.
And outdoor education.
Keywords up.
Or
Almost there.
outdoor education took up 2 options, so then I only had 1 left. I don't want to do like an extra science or an extra maths or anything because I wasn't that good at that. So, and all the other ones just didn't really appeal to me. And I stood there with my dad, and he was like, "Right, well, what else do you want to look at? I was like, well, I don't really know. Maybe I'll do outdoor education and PE. And he was like, why would you do that? It's like, well, why don't we go have a look at media? I was like, yeah, maybe. So my dad was like, right, come on, we'll go have a look at media. We'll see what it's about. We'll just have a look. And I turned up to the little, it was in the science block. It was a tiny little room.
Yeah.
They'd given the media area the smallest room in the whole block.
Yeah.
There was like 3-4 people cramped into like a tiny space. I was like, oh God. So I walked in. My teacher was there. His name was Mr. Gay.
Nice.
Shout out Mr. Gay.
Big up, Mr. Gay.
And he was like, well, does he want to do media? I was like, well, maybe. I haven't really thought about it. And then they started explaining what they do and different bits and bobs. I was like, you know what, this is actually quite cool. Might as well give it a go. It's an extra option. If I get a pass, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Turned up to the first day of my media, the like taster day. You do like a taster week, and you can change it if you need to. Turned up the first day, started editing green screen stuff, and made a video. And I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do. 100%.
I mean,
I wouldn't be here.
Yeah. If it wasn't,
yeah. Check out me. Shout out my dad, guys.
Yeah, big. Shout out everyone on the show. Yeah. Shout out.
So many shout outs.
Shout out, Mr. Simpson. Well, we're gonna move on to the creative section now.
Okay.
Our creative challenge. Now, what we're gonna do is not entirely a link to, your social media stuff and all that kind of stuff, but it tests the brain, tests the language, tests your wordplay. Oh, dear. So there's this game that I was introduced to, which I absolutely love, called Rhyme Time.
Nice.
So, are you aware of Rhyme Time?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So Rhyme Time is basically a game where I will say an artist's name, and you got to make a rhyme that matches with the last name of that artist.
Okay.
For example, if I said Chris Brown, right? You got to make a rhyme that matches with Chris Brown. I'm so funny, I'm a Chris Clown. That kind of stuff. I'm really sad, I'm Chris Down. That kind of stuff.
Pretty mad.
Yeah.
I'm Chris Brown.
There you go. So, you're ready. Okay, so we're gonna
like a good 5 seconds to think about it.
You got a little bit of time, but too much hesitation and I'll clock onto it. And yeah, you're done. Right, so we're gonna keep it simple.
Okay.
To start with, we're gonna start with Doja Cat. So you gotta make a rhyme that matches with cat. Take it away.
Me first.
I'll go with you.
You go first.
Okay, fine. Hitting out the park with my Doja bat.
Eating too many biscuits. I'm getting Doja fat.
Cold. Yeah, yes, nice. On this talk show, listening intensely, I'm Doja sat.
I was gonna say the same thing. Helping you put up the set. We moved some Doja flats.
Nice. This girl was so annoying. I call her a Doja brat.
That's literally. Oh, you're taking all the good ones. Oh, I've got no idea.
Okay,
I've got no strat. Doja strategy, kind of.
Oh, do you know what? If you hadn't gone, oh no, it doesn't work, I would have let that go. That was really good. Strategy. Yeah, that would have worked.
Doja strat.
Yeah, but yeah. So we're gonna go. Okay, so we'll go Little Nas X. But we'll go Nas the.
Okay.
So we'll remove the little. We'll go Nas. You start this time.
I'm a nice place.
Oh, I miss my mum. I'm gonna send her a Nas text.
Okay.
Love you, mum. Shout out to mum.
Queen. Another shout.
Shout out.
You're so old, man. You're a Nas T-Rex.
That was yeah.
Kind of works.
Yeah, it works. It works.
Oh,
I gotta get some new garms, so I'm gonna go to NARS next. Next, the store next, clothing store.
garms.
I know I said artist at the beginning, but we're gonna change it to Chris Evans. He's not an artist, but the word is Chris Evans. This is gonna be our last one.
You've already got like 7 for this already. I know.
I do not.
I've been watching Stranger Things.
Uh-huh.
I by Chris 11.
For some reason,
11. Stranger Things.
No,
that was dead. Sorry.
I daydream a lot. Head in the clouds. I'm in Chris Evans.
I like pretty girls. I don't go below Chris Sevens.
And in that, and on that note, we're gonna start to close the show. But what I want to ask you, oh God,
Don't go below Chris Sevens. Do you get it?
it's good. It's good. It's very good. It's very good. Very good. So I've got 2 questions actually. My first one is one that asks all the guests. Obviously, you kind of already touched on it already, but social media, media in general, is obviously something that you want to continue doing in the future. Do you have any particular places, apart from Cinch, that you would want to explore? Or is there anything else in general outside of social media that you want to explore?
Well, I would like to work. I've been thinking about this quite a bit, either as freelance individual, so I work like with companies and produce their social media, or to work for like still on the theme of like cars, but like maybe like a F1 or something big like
F1
that,
would be
or like
cool.
a rugby team, sport team as well, massive sporting. Northampton Saints, please.
Is that another shout out? Shout out Northampton Saints.
There's been like 8. But, you know, Northampton's like a sports team would be incredible.
Yeah.
Because obviously for my graduation project, I'm doing a lot of sports stuff. At the moment, so.
And the last question I want to ask you, because out of all my guests, you're the only one who's actually asked me about the show in general and what the show is about. And yeah, when I explained it to you, you kind of gave me like a cool, that's cool. But I'm gonna shoot a question at you, right? I want you to keep it real.
Clever. I like it.
Thank you.
Yep.
I want you to keep it real. Just in general, like, because obviously I spoke to you about, the show is about getting creatives to share their stories and, share whatever projects they have and stuff like that. Like, what do you think about that? Like, how important is that for people to, get involved in and stuff like that?
Personally, I think it's insanely important. I think it's a really, really good thing. This is a really, really good thing because you'll see clips or videos from influencers or famous people or whoever it might be, people that have obviously, got some talent or done something really well.
Yeah,
but at the same time, there's a lot of people behind the scenes that don't really get recognition. If you think about like Sidemen videos, for example, they've got a massive team behind them.
Yeah.
But like only a couple of them get a feature every now and again or like get a comment. But I think, and obviously people work so hard for those sort of videos. There's like a whole camera crew, there's sound crew, there's like a full TV studio following them around these different places. And I think a lot of the times, for me personally, that sometimes it might go under the radar.
Unnoticed, yeah.
Because, like, when sometimes, I'll give an example. When I was working for Cinch, there was a celebrity feature that I won't say names. But he had turned up and he was like going around the cinch stuff, showing off this, that, the other for cinch and for his own, for their own, his own social media.
Yeah.
And when I was there, obviously I was a work experience 18-year-old that was just kind of helping out where needed be. But I went round with this famous person and helped them and like film them and this, that, the other. And the whole time I was working with him, he just called me work experience kid. The whole time I told him my name, everything. The whole time I was there, he was like, "Oh, the work experience kid can get involved."
Wow, that's.
And I was like, obviously I didn't want to be like too upset because I am a work experience kid. I do understand, but I do have a name.
Yeah.
And he was just like, "Oh yeah, the work experience kid. Get the work experience kid to do it."
Out loud is crazy as well.
To everyone.
Hey yo, work experience. That's
Exactly. We were doing. It was like they'd had like what's it called? Electrics. You know, like the little toy car things, but you sit on like a little pedal.
Yeah.
And you drive it around. I was on that, doing that. Oh, I was filming him do that, and then he goes, "Oh, sorry.
Slow down, man.
Oh, work experience kid. Come get involved. Come have a go." I'm like, really?
Yeah, really, yeah.
There are actual children running around, and you just call me work experience kid. I was like, I'm not that young. I'm 18. I drove here.
Yeah.
So I obviously had a go on it. Was quite fun.
Yeah, got well done.
But the whole time he was like, "Oh yeah, the work experience." And then right at the end, before he left, he turned around to me and he goes, "Oh, of course you want a photo. Let's get a photo together." And I was like, "You know what? I'm all right."
Yeah.
But then they were like, "Just get a photo."
Yeah.
But, you know, anyway, where was I going with that? A lot of people go under the radar and sometimes unappreciated in what might happen.
Yeah.
But I feel like stuff like this, where people get to voice what they're doing, even how they do it, because a lot of people don't understand. I don't want to say don't understand the world of media, but the effort and passion,
the amount of stuff, amount that goes into it.
Because a lot of people I talk to, they're like, "Oh, how did you do that?" And I explain it, and they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
But people that are in media would kind of understand it and be like, "Oh, okay, that's fair enough."
I also get that, you know, I get this quite often. Like, you get this from a lot of my friends in other courses who are doing stuff like, you know, big stuff like science and biomed and law and English. And then you're like, "Oh, yeah, no, I'm doing media." And then it's kind of like oh, wow, you're not even doing like a real course.
Yeah,
you're not doing
angers me so much. You're not doing a real course? Oh, that's an easy course. That's like set 8.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, the amount of sleepless nights, the amount of time I'm spending
4 a.m. in the library, sat there
either editing, writing.
But the worst part is we've got to edit something. Obviously, they have exams, they have big things. I'm not saying that our course is like the best.
Obviously,
Media is the best thing in the world. It is fun, it's great, but we have to edit whatever it might be, then do a write-up about it, and then essentially do a write-up about the write-up of what we've just edited.
Done. Yeah.
But all the meanwhile, we would have had to film it the week before. If there's any problems, you'd have to catch up and then refilm it. And then it's just like kind of like a huge thing. And then people are just like, "Oh, well, it's only media.
Yeah.
It's easy."
Yeah. But I think
there's a lot more that goes into it, guys.
Yeah. And you said it perfectly. There's a lot that goes into this stuff, and like you said, it's really important that people get to voice what they do, and voice their journey to the people, really. But that is the end of the show, and I really appreciate you joining me today, Charlie.
Right.
Thank you very much for speaking to me and speaking to the people.
I zoned out then. Jesus, people are gonna.
Well, I was like, "Where's he saying?"
I ramble a lot, so there's probably some good content in there.
Yeah, no, it's somewhere.
Somewhere there's probably something.
You guys can let us know in the comments, and if you wanna, I know it says CS Media.
I know the account. If I find it, 1 second.
If you wanna shout that out.
CS._. dot, that's not place, media, unfiltered.
Well, that will be on the screen as well. But again, thank you very much, Charlie, for joining me today, aka Work Experience Kid, and
Oh, bro, there's no need for that.
and thank you guys for joining us.
Cares, by the way.
Okay. Well. Okay. Well.
Why is it so patchy,
Okay. Completely thrown me off. Yeah, no,
crazy.
that's fine. But thank you guys for joining me and Charlie on today's show, and really appreciate it. If there's any other things that you want to comment on or anything for later shows, make sure to drop a comment or message on my creative account, which will be there and is also in past episodes. But thank you guys for joining me, and look out for the next episode with my next guest. See you in a bit.
This was great. I'd give it a Chris 11.
Okay, we're gonna leave it there.